The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 26th day of January 2023, the last game of April in this replay. We've reached April 28th. We're at Pac Bell Park on a rainy day in San Francisco. And remember, the coldest winter I ever spent was the summer in San Francisco. It was never really said by Mark Twain. It'll be the San Francisco Giants at 12-10, one of a gaggle of contenders in the National League West, against the Chicago Cubs, who are off to a slow start. They're 8-14 on the year. Julian Tavares gets the call for Chicago. Sean Estes for San Francisco. And a rare case where we have Barry Bonds versus Sammy Sosa. So get your B12 vitamin shots out of the way. It's going to be time for baseball in a moment. As Retro Sports Network presents 2001, an Action PC Season Odyssey. Today, from Pac Bell Park in San Francisco, California, it's the San Francisco Giants and the Chicago Cubs. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. We're supposed to tape show 128 or 168 today. And so it will be Sean Estes on the hill for San Francisco. He is off to a terrible start. Even the Thundering Turtles are going, I don't want that. Estes is 0-4 with an earned run average of .853. He is making his fifth start of the year. Buck is 28 years old. He's a fastball pitcher. 91 miles an hour with that. And since we are in California, he is a chevron pitcher or a standard pitcher. He doesn't like the fastball or the fly ball nor the ground ball. And since he's a standard, he is a franchise zone pitcher and not an independent chevron retailer. So Estes, making, I said, his fifth start of the year, was injured in his first start against the Dodgers. He last pitched 6 days ago, so Sunday against Milwaukee, a 7-5 loss. He went 5 innings, 113 pitches, 7 hits, 5 runs. Defense didn't help. Only 2 of those runs were earned. He allowed 2 homers. He walked 5 and struck out 4. The Dodgers on the 17th just turned him into a Macy's Christmas tree. 9 runs, 8 earned, over 4 2/3. That gets you bad numbers. Overall, Estes, 19 innings, 27 hits, 23 runs, 18 earned, so already in 4 starts, 5 unearned runs. 5 home runs allowed, 11 walks, and 17 strikeouts. So here comes the no-hitter, right? I think so. Here's a lineup the Cubs will put out there. Eric Young is at second. He'll lead off. Gary Matthews Jr. in center will bat second. Sammy Sosa at right will go third. Ron Coomer cleans up at third. White is in left. He'll bat fifth. Gutierrez at short goes sixth. Zoletta, I believe it's Julio Zoletta, because I looked, at first batting seventh. Joe Girardi behind the plate goes eighth. And Julian Tavares on the mound, 100 pitches for him, or thereabouts, will go ninth. Defensively for the Giants, it'll be old friend Sean Dunston is a 2 and a 7 and left. So what do you do when you no longer can play short? They go stick you in the outfield. Marvin Bernard is a 5 and a 4 in center. And Rios is an 8 and a 9 in right. And you know what? Barry Bonds is not in the lineup. Russ Davis he'll play third base. Martinez is a 4 at short. Jeff Kent a 7 at second. J.T. Snow a 6 at first. Benito Santiago a 5 and a 5 behind the plate. Nestus a 7 on the mound with a .923 fielding percentage. Tavares must be a lefty. Anyway, so Barry gets the day off. Young steps in at 269, a home run, and 6 RBI. With a 120 pitch count, the Giants hope that Estes can go 7 or 8 innings. He has really, really struggled so far on this replay. 64 degrees in San Francisco, a light rain, no real wind. It's still in McCovey Cove in right field, and you'll need a poncho to stay dry. Pitch to Young is a fly ball to right. Rios moving over to make the catch, 1 out. Russ Davis by away is a 3 at third. Gary Matthews Jr. absent for picture day. 217, a home run, and 3 RBI. Estes deals. There's a fly ball. Dunston coming in. Sean will make the catch, 2 out. Now, this was the part they told us the last time we did a game from San Francisco, that they forgot to put the bullpens in during the initial design. So it wasn't intentional that the bullpens here are along the foul lines. It was a goof. Here is Sammy Sosa. Sammy at 253, just 4 home runs. This is game 23 for the Cubs. He has driven in 15. And Sosa would finish behind Bonds in the home run there. How you doing, Russian Rib? So no Bonds in the lineup to start. Pitch to Sosa. Sammy lines this one down the line. Foul. And somebody from Auburn made the catch. Good morning. I am fine, Bernie. How are you? We had a boatload of freezing rain overnight on top of about 4 or 5 inches of snow. Dunston is in left field. Yep, no Barry Bonds to start. And a 2-2 count to Sammy Sosa. Estes walked him, lost him. Sosa drew a lot of walks, of course. With that power, you'd loathe to pitch to him. Here's Ron Coomer. 4 for 8. That's 500. Even I know that. A home run and 5 RBI for the future broadcaster. Sosa goes with 2 out. Ground ball to Snow. JT underhands it to Estes, and the inning is over. So a good inning for Sean after half a frame. It's no runs, no hits, no errors. The Cubs leave on a runner. Chicago nothing. Here comes San Francisco. And Julian Tavares, who would become pretty good friends with Manny Ramirez during his time with the Red Sox. Remember, one of them picked the lice out of each other's hair in the dugout. That's love. That's friendship. Gardner and I would not do that. Tavares is 28 years old. He's a fastball pitcher at 90 and a ground ball pitcher, making his 5th start of the year. He is on 6 days rest. He last pitched against the Pirates on the 22nd in a 6-4 loss. 5 1/3 for Julian. 88 pitches, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. His only decision was his first start of the year against the Phillies, a 3-2 loss. So overall, 21 1/3 innings, 16 hits, 8 runs, all earned. 2 homers. He's walked 7 and struck out 17. Nobody touched Manny's hair. He went nuts. Should do a Texas, actually, you couldn't in 2001. It'd be a Dodger Red Sox game because Adrian Beltre. Remember that? Tavares walked 7 and struck out 17 so far. Sean Dunston leads off for San Francisco and left. It'll be Martinez at short batting second. JT Snow at first batting third. Jeff Kent cleans up at second. Rios and Wright will go 5th. Davis at third bats 6th. Marvin Bernard in center goes 7th. Benito Santiago behind the plate goes 8th. And Estes, who threw 20 pitches to get out of the first unscathed, bats 9th. Yep. Beltre was you just couldn't touch that. There are parts of people's bodies that are just painfully ticklish. Rondell White, by the way, a 4 3 and left. We'll leave that one for a second while I set the Cub defense. Gary Matthews Jr., a 3 3 in center. Sosa, a 6 7 in right. Gutierrez, a 3 at third. Eric Young, a 4 at second. Zoletta is a 2 at first. Girardi an 8 and a 7 behind the plate, and Tavares an 8 on the mound with a .938 fielding percentage. Sean Dunston is at 222 with a triple. And Tavares starts his afternoon with strike 3. An 0-2 changeup, 1 out for Ramon Martinez. At 300, no homers and 2 RBI. You can think of the bottom of her foot or the armpit being the spot that gets painfully ticklish and you don't want touched. You know where mine is? Right on the inside of my nose. And the only reason why I know that is every once in a while, because I'm male, you get too much hair there and they got to go pluck it out. And by God, that is just so... I'll tear up. Absolutely will tear up. Not cry, but you know where I'm going with that. Coomer's a 3 at third, by the way, and Martinez strikes out a 1-2 fastball, 2 out. So a good morning and a good afternoon from Tavares. Bernie's wondering, I don't think Joe Castiglione would ever tell those stories. You're right, he wouldn't. Snow at 236, a home run and 10 RBI. Tavares kicks and fires. Good night. He gets the side on 14 pitches. That was a fastball in there at the knees, and the Giants go in order. After 1, Cubs and Giants are scoreless in San Francisco. So it'll be Rondell White to lead off the second. Rondell at 217, 2 homers and 13 RBI. Yep, usually most professional announcers would be going through the media guide to pull out stories. No, not me today. I'm telling you where I have painfully ticklish. And Avast One is our sponsor today. Not sure if an email is safe. They'll flag suspicious emails directly in your email account, so you'll never get fooled by a scam again. Pitch to White. There's a line drive to right. Rios will pick it up. Actually, he won't. That's going to skedaddle to the wall. White will go into second. Is he going to try for 3? Nope. Good throw into the bag, and Rondell has his 6th double of the year. First hit for anybody, and that'll bring up Ricky Gutierrez, who looks like he came off the Afternoon Delight. How are you, John? Ricky looks like he came off a Menudo album cover shoot, doesn't he? 253, a homer, and 11 RBI. Estes deals. Gutierrez bunts. Santiago throws it to Kent covering, and that's an out. Did White go to third? Yes, he did. 1 out. Here's Julio Zuleta at 242, a home run and 9 RBI. No score. Top of the second. Cubs and Giants on a rainy day in San Francisco. Estes deals, and he walks Zuleta. So runners on the corners for Joe Girardi. Wonder what ever happened to him. And by goodness, he's wearing number 27. Hitting 194, a homer, and 5 RBI. And some Yankee fans half asleep on YouTube have already started to boo. Although they won't see this for 24 hours. A couple Philly fans might boo too. Pitch to Girardi. There's a liner to left. Dunston has it played perfectly. White goes back to tag and will hold. Dunston has a good arm. He's a 7 out there. So it's still first and third, 2 out for Tavares. Julian is 2 for 7. And I got a winky emoticon there from the resident Philly fan. Tavares 2 for 7, a walk and a strikeout. Struck him out. Estes got him. He swung on and missed, and that's the side. No runs, 1 hit. The Cubs have left on 2 after 3 overall after an inning and a half. No score. So Kent, Rios, and Davis to face Tavares, who struck out the side in the first. Kent at 293, 4 homers, and 16 RBIs. And Russian Reb goes to hide under the blankets now. Don't know why. Kent, it's a line drive to left. That's going to drop in front of Rondell White for a single. Wish he played better when he was with the Mets. Any relation to Clark? Clark Kent? Ha ha! Well, it's super that you're here, man. Here's Rios, Armando at 219, 2 homers and 10 RBI. Pitch from Tavares, Rios into right. Sosa will make the catch for the out. I think Clark Kent's kryptonite is a slider in it. Here's Russ Davis. Russ at 273, a homer and 4 RBI. Or Bernie would tell you it would be Daisuke Matsuzaka's gyro ball, which apparently was Daisuke's kryptonite as well. Pitch to Davis, runner on first, popped up Girardi has it for the out. So 2 away for Marvin Bernard. 133, that's a slow start. 3 homers and 11 RBI. Uh-oh, I'm being quizzed. Ron, you said Girardi wore 27, only because I saw it on the helmet. You got to know who made that number famous, eh? Well, yeah, in Boston I do. He wore the reverse on the south side, Mr. Fisk. Now, there was a... Yeah, Daisuke was the luckiest pitcher on the face of the earth. We're not still bitter or anything. I had a gym teacher by the name of Mr. Fisk. His daughter was pretty... How you doing, Steeler fan? What happens if a homer is hit to left in the giant glove? Free Coke for life? I don't know if there was some sort of... There must have been some sort of promotion with that. Anyway, 2 out. Runner on first. Bernard pops it up. Zolata towards the line. Reaches in the stands. And somebody from Monterey made that catch. But full count to Bernard. Can't stay, but you want to drop in and say hi. Don't drink too much of my pepperoni-flavored snake oil, okay? Rick Miller married Fisk's sister. Rick is from Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's right, because they were teammates in Boston. Now, the Fisk that was the gym teacher, in physical education, as his partner told me, had an E at the end of Fisk. Pitch to Bernard. Struck him out. He got him. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Giants leave on a runner. We go to the third. It's scoreless. Now, Fisk has got to be one of the rare players in sports history to have a number retired by 2 different franchises. Now, obviously, Jackie Robinson's 42 is Major League wide. But Fisk, obviously, 27 for the Red Sox and 72 for the White Sox. Eric Young, by the way, is 0 for 1. Estes opening 9, 38 pitches, 2 innings, a hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. There can't be many that have their numbers retired by 2 different teams. In hockey, of course, Gretzky is league-wide at 99. Young, ground ball to Martinez. Ramon scoops it, throws to first. Gonna be close, but he's out. Now, of course, that would be more likely with free agency and such. Here's Gary Matthews Jr. He's 0 for 1. Estes deals. There's a liner in the left that's going to drop in front of Dunston for a base hit. And that's a second base hit for the Cubs. So runner on first for Sosa, who drew a walk. John says, I don't know if a promotion was attached to the giant glove, but I believe there is one attached to Caneline Statue's glove in Detroit. I think I heard that there were little spikes in it to catch any ball hit into it. That'd be cool. DJ John, who lives on the coast, might know of that. Mr. Howard, I don't think is awake. It's only 9:19 in the morning out on the West Coast. So I don't know. That to left center. That would be a huge poke to put one into that glove. There goes Matthews. A throw down to Kent, and Gary has been thrown out. Santiago might be ancient, but he did make the play. 2 out. In a 1-strike count to Sosa, nobody on. Estes deals. And there's a strike 3. Gets away from Santiago down to Snow, and that's it. So no runs, a hit, and after 2.5, it's Chicago nothing, San Francisco nothing. There would have had to have been a promotion about that. The insurance might even let you do $1 million promotion for that. I'm sure there was one in an All-Star game there. That's got to be 450 some odd feet to that glove. Santiago at 326, by the way. No homers and 4 RBI. Tavares deals, and there's a ground ball base hit up the middle. And so that'll bring up Estes, who's going to bunt. 0 for 6 with a strikeout. Going to square. Coomer and Zalata playing in. Estes gets it down. Girardi throws to Young for the out. 2-4 in the sacrifice. Put the mouse back where you're supposed to be. And Santiago moves to second. Here's Dunston. He struck out his first time up. Tavares opening 9, 31 pitches. 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits and 4 strikeouts. Runner on second is Santiago. He drags one down for an infield hit. How about that? It's kind of an Ichiro drag bunt swing, and Girardi just couldn't do anything with it. So Dunston on first. Santiago on third for Martinez, who struck out his first time up. According to Google, there are now 10 players with retired numbers and multiple teams. Is that baseball or overall? Pitch to Ramon is a fly ball to right. Sosa having to go back. Santiago should tag here. Sammy makes the catch. Santiago will tag with 2 out. The throw goes into second, and it's 1-0 San Francisco. I would imagine that Mark McGwire has had his number retired by 2 teams. Nolan Ryan probably by 2 teams. JT Snow was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Pete Rose, I would imagine, Cincinnati and Philadelphia. Fisk, as we said. Babe Ruth, obviously not. The Red Sox didn't wear numbers when he was there. Did I get any of those right? Pitch to Snow. I'll throw to first. Dunston back. Keith Hernandez, I'm not sure if St. Louis would have retired his number. The Mets surely have. Seaver probably. Nolan Ryan, yes. Okay. Not Rose or McGwire. That's interesting. Seaver? Got him. Tavares is fan 5, by the way. There was a run scored. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 4th. It's San Francisco 1, the Cubs nothing. So Coomer, White, and Gutierrez to face Estes. Yeah, Fisk is probably going to be the only one, as Elvis says, to do it with 2 different numbers. Unless, of course, you're Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. But that's basketball. Coomer is 0 for 1. There's a liner left center field. That's a base hit. Bernard will pick it up. And the Cubs have their 3rd hit. So here's White. Rondell doubled his first time up. This time he lines one to left. Dunston makes the catch. Would Bonds be on that list? He had some very good years in Pittsburgh. Of course, he couldn't wear the hat, but he had some good years. Here's Ricky Gutierrez, 1 out. Bunted his first time up. See what he does this time. Line drive to short. Martinez makes the catch. Coomer goes back. Great leaping catch by Martinez. 2 out for Zuleta, who walked. There is a noon golf tomorrow. This is the last baseball game of the week. The real question here, asking me about White Sox history, huh? Is who wore 27 for the White Sox that prevented Fisk from using that number? You think I know that one off the top of my head, huh? I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna give 2 answers. Fox or Aparicio? How you doing, Big Dave? Pitch to Zuleta. Struck him out. Your viewers might. Okay, so who wore... Luzinski is a good answer, but I don't think he was with the White Sox in 81. He was still... When did he go to Philadelphia or leave Philadelphia? So, chat, who wore 27 for the White Sox historically? So, Fisk had to wear 72. We go to the bottom of the 4th. But while you cogitate on that, here's a look at the standings. Florida still in first place at 15-7. The Braves are in dead last. Aren't playing well on the road and have a run differential of -20. That's not good. Reds are at 15-7. They might be starting to come back down to earth a bit, but a great start for them. Cubs are 7 games out in the Central. The NL West outside of the Dodgers is so competitive. Colorado leads it today. Red Sox and Yankees tied at 14-9. The White Sox have won 4 straight. They have a 4-game lead over Cleveland. And Seattle has lost 3 straight, but they still have a 4-game lead over Oakland. All right, the ones that have numbers retired by both teams, or 2 teams, Joe Niekro, Jackie Robinson's everybody, Nolan Ryan, yeah, Aaron, I forgot, the Brewers retired his number, Sparky Anderson would make sense, Carlton Fisk, Reggie Jackson, that makes sense, Greg Maddux, Frank Robinson, and Casey Stengel. Okay, yep. So Kent has a single, 1-0 Giants here in the bottom of the 4th. And to right, Sosa makes the catch, 1 out. Oh, the Cubs would have retired Maddox for sure. Cubs and Braves. Here's Armando Rios. Armando's 0 for 1. Didn't Maddox win number 300 with the Cubs? He went back. Pitch to Rios. Struck him out. That's 6. A 1-2 curve on the inside. 2 out for Russ Davis, who's 0 for 1. Rose was just retired from baseball, not his number. The Reds have 14 retired. I'm sure if the Phillies asked, they'd let him do it. Pitch to Davis. There's a liner in the left center field. That's going to drop in front of Rondell White for a single. So, Mr. Elvis, was I right with either Aparicio or Fox? Here's Marvin Bernard. Marvin struck out his first time up. Davis. Oh, this might be 2. Young goes to first for the out. Bernard is retired, and that will retire the side because you can't have a double play with 2 out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the 5th here at Pac Bell. The rain has stopped at 68 degrees. It's bathing suit time. 1-0 Giants. So Girardi is 0 for 1. Estes starts the 5th on 64 pitches. Ground ball to third. Davis across the way to Snow. 1 out. Now bring up Tavares, who struck out his first time up. 1-0 Giants, top the 5th. Fly ball to right. Rios makes the catch. 2 out. For EY, so Estes opening 18, 71 pitches, 4 2/3, his best outing of the year by far. 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. You had to look up the Fisk answer. You'll never get it. Yeah, that's right. Gaylord Perry, and remember, you got to put the asterisk there because it sets off the auto mod. Won his 300th in Seattle, but they haven't retired his number. He was only there about a year, wasn't he? EY is 0 for 2. Estes deals, and there's a line drive to Martinez, and that will retire the side. Halfway home. I would never have gotten that, Elvis. We'll reveal the answer in a moment. Halfway home on a slippery Thursday in Burlington. 1-0 Giants. If you joined us late, here's how he got here. Not another pitching duel here in this replay. Ramon Martinez, a sac fly in the third to make it 1-0 Giants, and that's it. Sean Estes, 5 innings, 3 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 3. Tavares, 4-hitter through 4 and just a 1 run. He has fanned 6. So the answer was Lynn McLaughlin. Well, you would have thought Pudge could have bought that number from him. Nellie Fox wore 2, Aparicio wore 11, and wore it with the Red Sox as well. If we're lucky in Boston, no one will ever wear 11 again after Devers. Yep. Russian Reb watched a YouTube video from MLB Network on Hawk Harrelson. Yeah, he was something else. Santiago singled his first time up. Different parts of the country. Oh, the answer was Ken Kravick? Again. Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that one either. Although I knew that Kravick did pitch for Chicago. People love their announcers in different varieties in different parts of the country. And the Midwest, especially the Chicagoland area, loves their homers. Pitch to Santiago is a ground ball up the middle. Young over to first for the out. Now, it wasn't until 1965 that Major League markets got Major League games outside of their home team. But the game of the week packages of the 50s and early 60s were blacked out within 75 miles of the ballpark. Estes, by the way, 0 for 6. Yeah, Hawk actually could have played on the PGA Tour. Fisk switched his number to 72 because that was his rookie year in baseball. Yep, had a good year for Boston that year, too. Pitch to Estes, who's got a swing, and he draws a walk, a beer league walk. So after years of watching Jack Brickhouse, and let me tell you, White Sox fans were not Jack Brickhouse's friends, it must have been quite a shock to turn on the TV on a Saturday afternoon and see either Chris Schenkel in 65 or Kurt Gowdy in 66. Because they weren't homers. Tavares opening 18, 75 pitches, 4 1/3, 4 hits, a walk and 6 strikeouts. Dunston 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. Celestis on first. Dunston flies this one to left. White will troop over and make the catch. You got to remember, for the longest time in Chicago, especially when the Cardinals were still playing football, there was no football on TV because home games were blacked out. So if you were a Bear fan, you had Brickhouse calling the Cub games, Brickhouse calling the White Sox games, and Brickhouse calling the Bears games. Really wasn't your cup of tea if Jack Brickhouse got on your nerves. Here's Ramon Martinez. He's 0 for 1 with an RBI and a strikeout. Gowdy had Kubek to root for the Yankees. That's true. Actually, you know, I never thought Tony was much of a homer. Martinez ground ball left side. That's a base hit. White will pick it up. Runners on first and third. No, we're not going to run on 2 outs. So first and second, 2 out for Snow, who has struck out twice. Russian Reb doesn't like Michael K. I used to like McCarver. McCarver with Al Michaels was fantastic. McCarver with the father-son duo of Buck was horrible. Yeah, Jack Quinlan lived and died with the Cubs before. He had a heart attack or car accident, mid-60s, on the radio. Lou Boudreau, I remember him too. Yeah, John Kiley, the organist, played with all 4 teams. The Sox, the Bruins, the Celtics, and the Patriots. That'll win you a bar bet in Boston. Car accident, yep. Snow has struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. Slow bounder to second. Young's got to kind of wait between the hops. Martinez gets out of his way, and that will retire the side. We go to the 6th. This one's been quick. 1-0 Giants. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. They leave on 2. So Matthews, Sosa, and Coomer to face Estes here in the 6th. Gary strikes out. That's 4 for Sean. A 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. So that'll bring up Sosa, who hasn't taken the bat off the shoulder. He has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Excuse me. The Cards hired Chip Carey. I saw that. Who were they after for Goldsmith? Be interesting to see how Chip plays in that market. Ground ball to second. Kent over to first. For the out. Goldsmith's an up-and-comer. I don't think Chip can do with St. Louis what he did with Atlanta. Although he worked in Chicago, but that was Harry's market, and that played well. Oh, we got a bot. So here's Kilmarana's 1 for 2. You have Elvis has a CD with Quinlan doing some announcing. I remember listening to that, and he didn't even explain how they lost. He just said Cubs lose. He was so mad. He just said Cubs lose. Funny. They weren't a great team in the early 60s either. I mean, we're talking right about the College of Coaches era for them. Poor Charlie Grimm. Coomer strikes out. That's 5 for Estes, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Go to the bottom of the 6th, 1-0 San Francisco. So Kent, Rios, and Davis to face Tavares here. Jeff is 1 for 2. So I guess that just plays really well in Chicago. I remember that. The Tigers hiring Rick Riz to replace Ernie Harwell. Bo Schembechler. There's two guaranteed things life in Michigan: that the Wolverines would lose on New Year's Day, and that Schembechler would never be forgiven for firing Ernie Harwell. Yep, I don't mind Riz. Yeah, the Cubs had Ernie Banks and sweet swinging Billy Williams, and no pitching. Kent swings. That's into left field. White makes the catch for the out. They would, of course, be good by the late part of the 60s. Armando Rios is 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Russian Reb is doing a Strat card and dice project from 82. As a reference, I watched some of the old 82 broadcasts. So interesting to watch and see how it was done back in the day. The first season I did on this channel was 82. How far along are you? Something you never ask a pregnant woman. Pitch to Rios is a ground ball to Zalata. He'll take it to the bag himself for the out. So 2 out, bottom of the 6th. Here's Russ Davis. He has a single. He's 1 for 2. Davis, ground ball to Gutierrez, backed him up and on the grass almost, throws to first, and that will retire the side. After 6, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's still the Giants 1, the Cubs nothing. So White, Gutierrez, and Zuleta to face Estes. Longest outing of the year is this. He's pitching into the 7th and has about 30 pitches left. He is due to bat 3rd after the stretch. White has a double. He's 1 for 2. To Kent, behind the bag at second, over to Snow. 1 out. Couple weeks, but taking your time playing a round-robin abbreviated schedule. Yep, the first year I did the channel, I did 82. And the Expos won the World Series. Ricky Gutierrez is 0 for 1. Steve Rogers had a monster year. Not quite what John Tudor did last year in 85, but pretty close. And Gutierrez gets hit. Got him in the helmet on an 0-2 curve that just slipped. So Estes takes a moment to gather himself as Zuleta steps up. He's walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Got him. That's 6. 0-2 fastball at 92. Chip Carey was with the M's. Really, how was he up there? I'd never liked him nationally. Buck Rogers. Yep. Or Steve Rogers. How long? This is my 5th year, Bernie. We've done 82. We did 78. We did 49. We did 85. And now we're doing 2001. I would dare to say that Mr. Howard's favorite replay of mine was 78. Girardi is 0 for 2. Pops this one in the left. That a little shorter than I thought. Davis will make the catch on the grass, and it's stretch time. 1-0 Giants. There are 1,000 of these. I should know where my own button is. So it's story time. Why did I get started? I had just come off a 2.5-year stint writing for Fansided. I started with their general baseball website, Call to the Pen. Picked up a lot of internal accolades for that. Ended up with my own website, covering my own team, along with Ricky Keeler, who you see every once in a while in the chat, covering the Washington Nationals. Missed a year short. So I did that from 2016, the end of 16 to to the beginning of the 18 season, and we just weren't going anywhere, and I really didn't want to run the site by myself at that point. And so they switched me to hockey. I kind of talked into that, and I did the Washington Capitals for a bit, but they wanted 50 articles a month before you got paid, which, again, that's not the worst thing in the world, especially if you got a staff of 2, because it's 50 cumulative. But I wasn't getting it by myself, and really was there. So I started doing, I'd done a couple games before on my own channel, which I've long since abandoned. You can find me replaying the 1958 NFL Championship game. I'm wearing glasses and everything. And that got 1,000 views. And so I was just started doing these type of things to bide my time until I found the next writing gig. Well, here we are, 4.5 years later, and there are no more writing gigs. This pays better, the hours are better, and I really enjoy it. So that's how I got started. The Yankees won in my 49 season easily. The Red Sox way underperformed. The Washington Nationals or Senators, depending on what you want to call them, were a 500 team, and Chicago overperformed as well. So the Red Sox really struggled against that. Bernard is 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Oh, not a problem. AI is taking you. Yeah. Bernard hits a ground ball to Young, and Eric will throw to first. I got into the writing thing just when the newspapers were starting to really lay off talented people. And I didn't think much of my writing skills. It was okay, but not great. And to sit there and trying to be competing against people like Art Spander and others, it's like, no, not even close. Here's Santiago. Benito was 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Well, thank you, sir. I wanted to be a broadcaster growing up. I don't try to do Scully's voice, but it comes out as Vinny at times. Santiago swings. That's into right. Sosa coming in. And will make the catch. 2 out. So here's Estes. Do I bat him? Yeah, he's thrown a 3-hit shutout. Why not? 2 out, nobody on. Pitch to Estes. Is a base hit into left center field. Are you kidding me? So Estes has walked and hit a single. So 27 batters deep for Tavares. 6 2/3, 106 pitches, 6 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Dunston is 1 for 3, a single and a strikeout. Forrest, how are you? Worst announcer the M had was Ken Levine. He was that's right, he wrote for Cheers, MASH, Frasier, Simpsons, Wings, Raymond, and Dharma and Greg. Wow. But not much of an announcer. Yep, the thing is when you go through a long season, you just need something to help pass the time. Russian Rib wanting to be a broadcaster or a statistician. Steve Hurt from Elias. Bernie's trying the writing thing. And Forrest, how are you? So Dunston is 1 for 3. Pitch. Struck him out. That probably is it. That's 7. So good outing for him, and he's on the wrong end of a 1-0 score. No runs, a hit, no errors. The Giants have left on 6. We go to the 8th. 1-0 San Francisco. So you know they're going to pinch hit for Tavares here. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Damon Buford will pinch hit. Damon does not have a pinch hit. 6 for 35 on the replay. 171, 2 homers, and 6 RBI. Matt says, back in 67, I was interested in doing broadcasting too. Was thinking of enrolling in a career academy. Saw the ad in the back of the Sporting News. Earl Gillespie, speaking of the Milwaukee Braves, was a key in that company. Not sure what ever happened to it. You get more practice now doing this than you ever would have gotten in an academy. Pitch to Buford is a fly ball left field. Dunston moving over into left center and will make the catch. 1 out. Thanks, Forrest. What do I think of the new rules for baseball? Pitch clock was needed years ago. 27 outs is still pretty timeless, but as someone who covered baseball, Estes, 27 batters deep, 7 and a third, 106 pitches, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Look, we do a full game in about an hour 3 times a week. And judging by how long people watch on YouTube, they watch about 17 to 20 minutes. That's about what people want to watch. There's no, kind of like writing, there's no reason, if you can say it in a sentence and not a paragraph, that's going to get you more money as a writer. And I think that's where baseball is. You don't need to play a 3.5-hour game if the final score is going to be 3-1. But if you look at things such as like Game 6 of the 11 World Series, that passed by in a flash, and it was 5.5 hours. So I'm for the pitch clock. I'm for speeding it up. You know, I did not know. It was one of you folks that was talking about pitch to Young, by the way, is a ground ball to Kent. Jeff with a fantastic diving stop behind the bag, throws to Snow, and makes the play. So Estes is cruising right along here with 2 out in the 8th. And a 1-0 lead for Gary Matthews, who's 1 for 3 with a strikeout. I did not know that the 4 bases were not aligned until I think I was doing one of Steve Tate's Decade Duels games, and one of you brought it up. Bigger bag, hopefully that one might mean that runners will try and start to steal. I think someone like Trey Turner, if they sent him loose, could steal 70, 80 bags a year. Matthews has singled and struck out. This one's in the left. Dunston's moving over and makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Kyle Farnsworth coming in for the Cubs. 1-0 Giants. So quietly, Sean Estes is throwing a gem. They really needed that. Farnsworth is 0-1 with a 5.59 ERA. Kyle is 25, a slider, a hard one at 96. And a fly ball pitcher making his 12th appearance of the year. He pitched last night against these Giants. 1 inning and a 9-3 loss, 10 pitches and 1 strikeout. Overall, 9 2/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 2 homers, 6 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Again, 0-1 with a 5.59 ERA. Yeah, no, the chat is there, and that makes it fun. You really couldn't do that in a real game. And again, you know, remember when Mike Hargrove was the human rain delay? As much as I love David Ortiz and have 4 or 5 of his jerseys, the adjusted glove spit into hand after every pitch was there. The 2 pickoff limit might help. I had a thought and I lost it, so we'll do this at bat. Ramon is 1 for 2. He has singled, driven in the lone run of the game on a sac fly in the 3rd, and struck out. Ground ball, base hit, left side. I think having the pitch clock, just pitch and catch. Pitch and catch. Yeah, Ichiro was bad at that too. I never saw him enough. The one thing that I would do and kind of implement this, I'm not sure if the players union would agree, is implement a hard roster cap of 11 pitchers. I think if you had to force the end of the rotation pitchers to actually pitch, I mean, it's ludicrous that you have 13 batters and 13 pitchers on a roster. 10 probably is not enough. I think 11 is there, and with the 26-man roster, 15 and 11 works. And D. Scott Howard is guaranteeing that the Dodgers will never be on this channel again. JT Snow is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. For Dave, this will end your old man shaking a fist at a young kid's moment. No, Bill Buckner's walk-up song was not Bend Down Low by Bob Marley. It's funny, but it's bad. Very, very bad. Pitch to Snow was 0 for 3. Got him. So 1 out. Crowd did not like that as Snow takes the collar. He swings and misses on a hard curve. Here's Kent. Jeff is 1 for 3. The thing is with this type of chat and ball game is it's not a radio call. It's not a television call. But it's but you're doing something in between the two and working in what you guys want to talk about. It is a challenge. Pitch to Kent. Got him. So Farnsworth has a good morning and a good afternoon. That slider is swung on and missed. Yeah, Buckner is an old Dodger favorite. Armando Rios is not. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for the Giants. They've left on 6 so far. The Cubs, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and they left on 5. There's a slapper in the right. Sosa will pick it up. Martinez round second. And will hold there on the coin flip. And so first and second for San Francisco for Russ Davis. And we did not do a Giant stream not to feature this man. Barry Bonds at 231, 7 homers and 714. It's walked 25 times and 65 at bats. Batters need to stay in the box. Didn't Nomar? Oh yeah, Nomar was terrible too. They all do it now. And you get Pedro Baez when he pitched for the Dodgers in a playoff game. You could read a chapter of War and Peace between those pitches. Forrest says that spring training feeling is in the air in San Diego. So is the PGA Tour at Torrey Pines this weekend. 32 and the rain and snow have stopped here. So first and second, 2 out for Bonds, trying to give his team a boost. Not a B12. Chops 1 to Young. Eric almost in on the grass. Has to avoid Rios. Bonds can run, and Bonds is out on a bang-banger. He huffed and puffed and couldn't quite blow the door down, and that'll do it. Giants, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. We've played 8. We're going to pull Estes, who says he's done. It's his longest appearance of the year by far. Giants 1, Cubs nothing. Come on. So Rob Nen, who did not pitch last night, as Dave Gardner got the start. Trying to lock this down. To a 1-run game. I need a third baseman, right? Oh, God. So who could play third? So Nen's a 2 and Feliz is a third, and Sammy Sosa's 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. I don't tune in to watch the Giants win. Too much wind resistance with that head. We were talking about you earlier, Ricky. Battle of the muscles in that one between Farnsworth and Bonds. So 1-0. D. Scott Howard and the Goats are rooting for the Cubs. Sosa's 0 for 2. Walked and struck out. Nen struck him out. I forgot to give you Nen's numbers. What kind of an announcer am I to do that? Rob's 31. Fastball pitcher at 93 and a ground ball plus pitcher. Has converted all 5 save opportunities. Last pitched against the Reds, where he got the win 2 days ago. 7-6, went 1 inning, 11 pitches, a hit, and a strikeout. So overall, 12 2/3, 7 hits, a run. It was earned. That came against the Padres. On the 12th, he's walked 6, struck out 12. Is 1-0, 5 saves, and an earned run average of 0.71. Ron Coomer is 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Then, Bill Miller's going to pinch hit. Miller at 347 does not pinch hit yet in this replay. 3 homers and 8 RBI. So 1 out, top of the 9th, 1-0 Giants. And he fouls that one off of Santiago's foot. Bill has an 8-game hitting streak, and now a 2-2 count. Rondell White on deck. Got him! So a good morning and a good afternoon from Mr. Nin. So here's White, 1 for 3. He's got himself a double, and for the Cubs, last chance saloon. So Estes and Nen trying to close the door on a 3-hit shutout. Rob will have to wait a second because Matt Stairs is coming out to pinch hit. Matt has an RBI as a pinch hitter. 275, 4 homers, really? And 7 RBI. So again, last chance saloon. Now a beautiful day here in San Francisco. 73 degrees. The winds are calm. You don't need that poncho out in McCovey Cove. Then deals. Here's a liner into right center. Rios will pick it up. And so the Cubs have the tying run on, and Michael Tucker is going to pinch run. Ricky Gutierrez, who's 0 for 1 to bat. Throw to first. Tucker back easily. So again, 2 out. Then trying to slam the door. Cubs trying to battle back. Pitch to Gutierrez. Ricky hits a ground ball to Nen on the third base side of the rubber. Over to Snow, and the Giants win. Flaming bags of poo are headed my way from Washington. So the Giants shut down the Cubs. 1-0. We've had a ton of pitchers duels so far. 1 run, 8 hits, no errors. The Giants leave on 8. No runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Cubs. They dropped to 8 and 15, and they left on 6. Sean Estes is your easy. I know. I expected there to be a lot of offense. Apparently, I pick him right. Sean Estes is your MLB or Digital Dice Player of the Game. 8 innings of 3-hit ball, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts, and then plus stuff Nen the save in the 9th. Tavares not bad at all. 7 innings, 6 hits, a run, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. Kyle Farnsworth gave up 2 hits and struck out 2. That's right. No, Ron does not do a good job of managing the pitching staff. But, yep, some B12 into the live stream for sure. And so let's do the rest of the day in baseball. The Brewers have slipped past the Cubs in the standings. So a full slate of games on this Saturday, the 28th of April. And we start with the Devil Rays beating the Tigers 3-2. Creek with a win. C.J. Nitkowski with a loss 2-1. Fred McGriff, his second of the year, 2 for 2 and an RBI. Toronto shuts down Anaheim 2-0. McCulloch 2-1. Russ Ortiz falls to 2-1. Cook with his 5th save. We got to wait a second here. The Yankees shut down the A's 2-1. Ramiro Mendoza 3-0. Tim Hudson 1-4. Ramon Rivera his 9th save. There's some runs. The Mets and the Cardinals. Mets beat them 11-6 and 12. John Franco gets the win. He's 2-1. Varys the loss. He's 0-1. Old friend of St. Louis, Todd Zeile, 3 for 5, 2 RBI, and a double. The Brewers 10-3 over Montreal. Sheets with a win, 1-2. Peters goes to 0-3. Richie Sexson, 2 for 4, is 9th of the year. Colorado down Cincinnati 7-6 and 10. Davenport 2-0. Sullivan 1-1. Larry Walker 2 for 4, is 5th of the year. Drives in 2. Cleveland beats Texas 9-5. That's a Dolly Parton score. Dave Burba 2-3. Rich Helling falls to 4-2. Jim Thome 3 for 3, is 4th of the year, driving in 4. Red Sox triple the Royals 9-3. Orojo is 3-0. Reichert falls to 2-3. Trot Nixon has 7 homers. He was 3 for 5. The Marlins beat the Astros 4-1 in Houston. Ryan Dempster 4-0. Wade Miller falls to 3-2. Wilson 2 for 3, is 2nd of the year, drives in 3. Twins beat the Orioles 3-1. Redmond 2-1. Towers, didn't realize that Steve Tower pitched for the Orioles, 0-1. And LaTroy Hawkins gets his 2nd save. Seattle beat Chicago 5-2. Abbott 1-0. That's not Jim anymore, is it? Biddle takes the loss. He's 0-2. And Brett Boone 3 for 4, 7th of the year, and drives in 2. Despite striking out 12, Arizona falls to the Braves 5-0. Tom Glavine 2-1. Randy Johnson, his first loss, 4-1. And one of the Joneses, can't keep up with them all, 2 for 5 with the 7th of the year. San Diego 5-3 over Pittsburgh. Not Adam Eaton, where your value is guaranteed, goes to 1-3. Arroyo 1-2. Ramirez 4 for 4 with a double. Darren Dryford strikes out 10-7. Sean Green 4 for 4, including his 9th of the year and 3 RBI. The Dodgers take out some frustrations on Bruce Chen, 12-3. Darren Dryford now 4-1. Chen 1-2. All right, well, there you go. That'll do it. We'll do some golf for you tomorrow. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you. Oh, you want to know what we're doing next week? Well, fine. All right, the schedule. The Tuesday primetime game is going to be Boston and Seattle. Hideo Nomo and old Red Sox pitcher Aaron Seeley. The Wednesday lunchtime special will be San Diego and Cincinnati. Eaton against Elmer Dessens. And the Thursday game, Cleveland and Tampa Bay. Four is probably too late to go into that one. So, ask another time. So that's the schedule next week. Golf for you tomorrow and Sunday. Until then, have a great time, everybody.